Welcome to lesson 16.1, all about telling time. So before we start that lesson, we're just going to quickly go through what we hopefully already know about time. So we know on a clock, when we are going around the clock, that each of our numbers that we see is counting by 5. We know that our shorthand is the hour hand, so the shorter one tells us what hour it is, and the longer one tells us what the minutes are. So if we were to look at this clock here, we can see that if the minute hand is on the 1, then the minutes would be 5, and then as we go around, we would just count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Oh, they have a 30 there. Those silly guys. We know that's 25, right, guys? 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, and then 60 goes all the way up to the 12. And when it gets to the 12, that means we're moving on into the next hour. So when we look at this clock here, we can see that the time, it's in between the 1 and the 2. So that means it's still in the hour of 1. It hasn't gotten all the way to the 2 yet. So it's 1, and then we know it's all the way over here at our 7, which is 7 times 5, 35. The minute hand's pointing to 35. So this time is 1:35. Okay, we also know that 1 hour is all the way around the clock with the minute hand one time. So when the minute hand starts here and goes all the way around, that means it has gone a full 60 minutes, which is 1 hour. And then we can see from this clock here, our hour hand, remember that's the short one, it's in between the 2 and the 3, so it's still in the hour of 2. And our minute hand is down here at the 6. We know 6 times 5 is 30, so this time is telling us 2:30. And at home, a lot of us have digital clocks that look like this, so they just tell us the numbers. But we definitely also want to know how to be able to tell time on a clock like this. So when we're telling time, we would say this as 2:30. And then it also tells us AM is the time after midnight but before noon, and PM is the time after noon but before midnight. So basically, if it's afternoon time, that means if it's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon or 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, all the way on up to midnight, we would say that's PM. So that would normally be the time when we're doing our reading lesson or doing read to self, going to reading buddies, and then going home, eating dinner, going to bed. All of those things happen in the PM. Okay, and then AM starts right at midnight and it goes all the way up to noon. So those are all of our morning activities, are AM. So that's when we are still asleep at midnight and then we wake up. We get to sleep in a little bit longer, some of us now, but normally we wake up pretty early in the AM, go to eat breakfast, get ready, we go start our day, and then when it turns noon or 12 o'clock in the afternoon, that's when it goes to PM. Okay, and then elapsed time is something we're going to be looking at in this chapter also, and elapsed time just means how much time has passed. So we want to be able to figure out, how long things take, how much time has passed since we started one activity and we have to move on to the next activity. It's really good for during the school day. Even at home, it's nice to know how long we're going to be doing something or how much time has elapsed since we've been reading or doing our activities that we're doing at home. So this just says 8 o'clock a.m. is 1 hour after 7 o'clock a.m. 7 o'clock a.m. is 1 hour before 8 o'clock a.m. 10:30 a.m. is 30 minutes or half an hour after 10 a.m. And 10:30 a.m. is 30 minutes or half an hour before 11 a.m. Okay, this next page is just showing us a couple number lines. We see that the arrow is pointing to 3 on each number line, and hopefully we remember that this is a horizontal number line and this one is a vertical up and down number line. Okay, so let's just quickly go through our quick check so we know we are ready for this chapter. So I'm going to turn on my little tools so I can write on here. So let's look at number 1. We're just going to figure out which number is missing from the sentence at the bottom. So it says down here, the minute hand shows blank minutes after the hour. So we can tell that oh, my mouse is going crazy. Our hour hand is the short one. It's in between the 3 and the 4, which tells us that the hour is still 3 because it's not at the 4 yet. And our minute hand's way over here on the 8. We can do this 2 ways, guys. We can count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Or we can just go, oh, I know 8 times 5 is 40. So it is 3:40. So the minute hand shows 40 minutes after the hour. Okay, number 2, the minute hand shows blank minutes after the hour. Now let's look at this clock. We can see that our hour hand, the shorter one, is in between the 9 and the 10. So that means it's still in the hour of 9, hasn't gotten to the 10 yet, and our minute hand is over here at 5. We know 5 times 5 is 25. So the minute hand is showing us 25 minutes after the hour. And then down here at the bottom, it just says tell the time. So we have to figure out what time it is. Now let's look at this one. This hour hand, the shorter one, it's in between the 7 and the 8. Now a lot of kids get a little confused when we see this hour hand so close to that 8. We want to keep in mind, if it's so close to that one, but our minute hand is somewhere over here, that means it is not 8 o'clock yet. So it is still in the hour of 7. So here we see it's 7, and then it's over here on the 10. We know 10 times 5 is 50. If we weren't sure about that, we could count by 5 all the way around. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. So this time is showing us 7, little dot, little dot. That's how we write time. We have the hours first, and then our little dots, and then our minutes. So it is 7:50 on this clock. Let's look at number 4. My goodness, my mouse is going crazy. Okay, so here is our hour hand. It's pointing right at the 12. So we know our hour is 12. And then we can see our minute hand is over here pointing at the 1. We know that that 1 stands for 5 when we're talking about minutes. So our time is 12 ... and then we would say this as 05. So we wouldn't just say it's 12:05, right? We would say it's 12:05 or 5 minutes past 12. Okay, and then let's see our next page. Okay, so this is the page you can do out loud with mom or dad or grandma or grandpa or your responsible brother or sister. So you can just do these ones, 5 through 11, and you can either just press pause right now and you can do it out loud with them, or you can go into Think Central and print it out and do it that way, or just do it out loud from there. Okay, I hope you enjoyed our introduction to chapter 16, and we will start with lesson 16.1 next Monday. Happy Friday, everybody. See you soon.